Welcome back to another episode of Related Conversations, the group chat on steroids. I'm your girl, Melanie. We're here today with my cousin, Man, and we got returning guest, Drew. And we want to welcome Kat, our first time guest on
Hey
our
everybody.
podcast. Welcome.
Thank you for
Today,
having me.
oh, of course, girl, we got you. Today, we are talking about dating with kids. Not everybody on here has kids, but they still date people with kids, and I think that's a good point of view.
Who don't got kids?
Drew,
Me, bro.
Oh,
I
you
ain't got
don't?
none.
Mm.
Y'all got enough. Y'all got enough for the rest of us. We good.
you say that, and you ain't exactly being the best person at preventing this. So don't act like this is by design, my guy. This is pure luck. Cut it out.
Mind your business.
Don't put it out there. You know I know. All right, let me start with a question here. So since everyone has dated someone who has kids before, what are your expectations of your partner when it comes to your child? All right. I'll start.
That one ain't for me. That one ain't for me.
Right. I didn't even think about that. My bad. Just sit tight. Like for me, I've been dating as a single mom. And then when I met somebody, I kind of just kept it separate because it was just like, it was a thing for me. You know what I mean? And it's like, but if you meet my kid, I don't know. I think outside of just like human decency, because I don't know. I've never had the point where I'm thinking long term future and stepdad type of behavior. You know what I mean? So I'm just kind of wondering, like, is that normal?
I think for me it's the same thing. Like I keep my son separate from my dating life in general, unless I feel like either a really good friendship is going to develop or a really good relationship is going to develop. Otherwise, he don't know what's going on with me. I don't introduce him to multiple people because I don't like that. I don't want him to see mommy having different guys around. So
Yeah.
I keep it separate. The only guy he sees outside of people who are close friends of mine that are men is his father.
Right. How long have you been a single mom dating?
Um, this year makes 5 years.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I'm at 2, so I'm with you there.
Yeah, so I think that's normal, like for everybody that got kids dating. Well, I don't want to say everybody because every time I say everybody, it's people that just don't do it like that. But for the most part, most people they try to wait till they have that person that they talking to meet their kid, and that's probably when they feel like, all right, I'm gonna be with this person and shit getting real. Let them meet my kid, blah 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 blah. But I think we should, since he's probably not going to answer this question, he can't answer this question.
Just here taking up space.
Yeah, I think we should. I think we should start off with the question like, should people with kids date people with no kids? Like, should people with no kids date people with kids? Like Anthony. I mean, not Anthony. I'm sorry. Anthony is not sleepy. There's no way he's asleep. And I just said his name.
You thinking about that nigga? That's your
Yeah,
brother
I'm thinking
for
about that nigga. But
Drew. His
like
name is
for
Drew.
yeah, I know for Drew. Like, is like somebody with kids like a red flag or an absolute no for you? And for us, like, should we be going after people with no kids? For us that got kids?
The way I've always seen it for me, like the older I get, it comes with the territory.
Mm.
Odds are I'm going to date a woman with children. So I don't really question it. I don't question it anymore. Like I had a friend of mine who in his dating process, he's into his 30s and he was adamant about finding a woman who didn't have kids. And I used to tell him all the time, bro, like your odds of finding that is getting slimmer and slimmer the older you get. So bring it into an equation at some point in time. You have to think about the fact that, yo, the person that I may end up dating, the person I may end up being with, may already have at least one. I can tell you it's not a red flag for me, but I do have a limit.
You have an echo.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's your headphones, but you have an echo. Um, I agree with that. I think that is definitely probably an age thing too. Like when I was younger, I'm not dating nobody who got kids because your kids and then you got a baby mother, that's at least two other people that I have to deal with you. And I'm not doing that. I'm nobody's stepmother. I was young and free and I'm not going to restrict my freedom because of the choices you made in your life. You know what I mean? However, dating as a woman with kids, I don't think that I prefer to date someone with kids. Not that I wouldn't date someone without, but I prefer to date someone with kids. And the reason why is because the first person I dated when I became out of my relationship with my son's dad was he didn't have kids, right? And it was fine, it was whatever it was. However, I realized that a big part of me is like being a mother. I'm still a woman and an individual. And that's the only parts that I was able to express with him because I'm not letting you around my kid, you know what I mean? And you don't have the understanding of what it's like to have a child. So I was able to be a woman, but you never got to see me fully because I had to restrict these other things. So you'll call me because you want to do something on Saturday night and you're calling me Saturday afternoon. I have my child and you're not as understanding of that because this is not a reality for you. You have the freedom to move how you please. And it just was like, there's a certain place where you can never be appreciated for certain stuff because they don't understand this. They've never lived this situation before.
I feel
I would
like
agree with
what
that.
I feel like when it comes to dating, like for me, I it doesn't matter either way, men with kids, men without. But to Melanie's point, I found that men without kids tend to be way more impatient, and less understanding. It's like they want to have a certain schedule, or they want to see you when they want to see you. And if you're like, okay, well, my schedule doesn't accommodate that, they're not really trying to make an effort to change their schedule to
Mm-hmm.
accommodate yours. So it's like then they get in their feelings because it's like I can't up and just go when you want me to because I have a child. Like,
Right.
I feel like that comes from just understanding the aspects of having and raising children. As somebody who doesn't have kids, I felt that way a lot. Like if I want to go out, it's like, okay, she can't necessarily go with me. To me, I've already grasped the concept of children.
Yeah, I
Whatever
think
you
it's the
got going on,
headphones.
it's not working. It
I think it's the headphones.
All
is
right,
the
let me pull.
headphones. Let me see. Talk without the headphones.
Can you hear me?
Much better, actually.
All right. So I've always wrapped my head around the concept of children exist and they require their parents. So if I want to take you out, I need to plan that in advance. Isn't the saying you don't waste a single mother's free night? Don't
Facts.
wait. So if you have an opportunity, if you may want to do something, then plan it. I feel like for people who date and you don't have kids and you're dating somebody with kids, it kind of puts you into a different understanding of you now have to plan life out. You can't live as freely as you once did. For you yourself as an individual, yeah, you can make those random choices. I can get up and leave the house at 2:30 in the morning because I can. But when you start to date someone like that and dating seriously someone who has children, it forces you to adjust your life a little bit to even bring other things full circle.
I think, let me just say something to your point that there's a difference when you're dating someone with kids seriously and you're just having fun, right?
Hmm.
Because, like, if I'm dating you seriously, I'm taking that into consideration because that means I'm invested in you. I want a future with you. So I know that you and little John come as a package deal. If I'm just
Mhm.
having fun and you, maybe my main one, maybe the one on my roster, maybe someone I'm just having fun with and it ain't nobody else, that's where that impatience comes in because I'm here to have fun.
Okay.
Your kid is not fun. And it's like
Hmm.
nobody's gonna say that because you are wrong for saying that. That doesn't make it untrue. It doesn't make it untrue. We can't go play in the rain at 10:30 at night because it's bedtime. You exhausted because you've been up since 6 o'clock changing diapers and going to PTA meetings. I think that's what it is. If you decide to invest in someone that has kids, then you automatically, your mind as a mature adult is going to go to,
Mhm.
we are doing this for us, and that includes that little one. And but when you're just, well, she can't go because she got to do this, so I'm gonna find somebody else. He not available because he got the kids this weekend, but I wanted to go out. I'm gonna find somebody else. I think that's how it comes about.
You're right. I'll give you that one.
Look at you giving me points. um Man, you want to get in on this? Because I know you be having a lot to say when it comes to certain stuff, when it comes to kids, and
Mhm.
you kind of
I don't know
quiet.
if you
I'm a
want to
little
start my
nervous.
shit too early. I just want to say.
All right, I want to
I'm
let me
gonna
move
say
it.
something. I'm gonna say something. I'm gonna
And
say
we know
something.
you are. You always say something.
I just want to
Um,
say for the for the people, not the people. I'm gonna say the females.
oh my Jesus.
Yeah, whatever.
Let's go.
I want to say for the females that don't got kids and they feel like for the guys that got kids is a deal breaker for them. I don't know. I could be tripping. I just feel like it's a bunch of bullshit. I'm sorry.
Why?
I know you're gonna. I know you're gonna be like, why? Because they don't have kids. They want to start. Go ahead, say it. Let's say it.
No, I want you to say why before I ask you anything because here you
Yeah,
go
I
with
need
your
to say my
shit.
famous line. I need to say my famous
You do.
line. Because, all right, and I don't think it works the same for a man. And I'm gonna explain all that in a second. So for a female dating a guy and she'd be like, "Oh, he got kids," it's a deal breaker. All right, I feel like for a female, they should that shouldn't be a deal breaker because let's just be real. Like, I don't even know if I should say
Because you
this.
sound
Don't say
stupid. You can't even come up with
don't
nothing
say
because
No,
they
it.
I don't know
stupid
if I should
shit.
say this
Don't
because
say it.
they're gonna tear me apart. Like,
All right, so
You stand on your shit. If you're gonna say it, stand on your shit because you know you
I
finna say
know.
something dumb. You know
No, I
you
feel
are.
like all right. It's all right. It goes back to when we was on the sex topic. All right, let's be fucking for real, because this didn't happen to me in real life. You hesitated on not talking to me because I had kids. I convinced you to talk to me. I courted you. I did everything I needed to do. Once I fucked, you didn't care if I had kids. You didn't care about like if the dick was good. You didn't care about none of that. You didn't care about none of that. Like long as as long as you didn't have no problems with the baby mothers, or and you didn't have to be a mother to the man kids, everything was all right. So I feel like if the father has a good co-parenting situation and there's no drama with the mothers and shit, and the dick is good, they're gonna accept it.
They're gonna make an exception for it. You
Okay,
don't.
they're gonna make an exception.
But here goes the thing. That doesn't mean that you gave no reason absolutely why they should do it. I want you to know that.
Oh, all
Just
right.
go with
Oh, let
me.
me get to that part.
Oh,
They should do it because 9 times out of 10, I feel like a man is better at what he do from experience.
what are you talking about?
As far as being a father.
A man is better at being a father than
Yeah.
what?
Not like a mother. A mother could just come out straight up, and she's just it's natural.
What
Shut
the
up,
fuck are you
Drew.
talking about?
Shut up, Drew. She's natural. Like
they gonna wreck
she's
you.
already built in as a good mother.
Biologically, her care is
Yeah,
innate, so she don't have nothing to work on, and
yeah.
you niggas got to
Naturally,
work
she's a
on it, so
good
that
mother.
makes you
I
better.
feel like no. I feel like naturally she's a good mother. I feel like a lot of deadbeats or niggas that's not good fathers, it's probably their first time being a father. If you get what I'm saying. So the girl, if you see the guy is a good father to his kids, or if you see he's not a good father to his kids, that's a perfect example for you to, you know? All right, fuck y'all. Nobody's gonna agree with this, but
Not because you said I'm dumb. Here goes the thing, right? Hold on. This is
no,
the
I'm
thing.
saying like, cause you could like for a girl, you could see it. You kind of can see it. Like this nigga got 2 kids, but you've been talking to him for 2 weeks. You ain't see this nigga with his kids for 2 weeks, and you going, now you pregnant by the nigga? Like that was just dumb.
You're all over the place.
No, I'm saying like, cause I'm trying to make it small without dragging it out. I'm
You're
trying to
gonna need
get
to
you to
just.
understand what I'm saying. Like if a guy have a kid, you can tell so much about this guy already. How he deal with his kids, or if he don't deal with his kids, or if you should start a family with him. Without that, you don't know until you start that family with him.
Here goes the thing. Here goes the thing. What you're saying is like men should be getting credit. Like I should talk to this guy who's a good dad because he's a good dad. That's the fucking bare minimum. And you're saying that as if
No, I
there's
ain't
some
saying
type
just
of
talk to him.
It kind
whatever.
of sounds.
He's
I'm
not
sorry.
getting fucking brownie points for doing the shit that he should be doing. Women do that shit every day. Oh, I had a baby. I'm a good mother. Ty
That's
fucking
right.
die. It's normal. You don't get special credit for that. I'm sorry, Kat, please, because what?
No, So, I mean, I might have interpreted it differently, but it kind of sounds like, from what he said, mothers are usually, y'all ever heard the phrase mama's baby, daddy's maybe?
All the
So
time.
a mother
Mm-hmm.
got to be a mother regardless. Like, fathers can come and go, hop in and out the picture, and I'm not saying all fathers, but fathers have the opportunity to come, go, hop in and out the picture. So if a
Mm-hmm.
guy's dating a female, she's going to be a mother, she's going to do what she has to do regardless. If a female's dating a guy and he don't see his kids for 6 months, and she then goes and has kids with him, she's just as stupid as the last chick who had kids with him because she knew he was a deadbeat from jump. That's kind of what it sounds like. I could be wrong, but
Yeah,
That's
I'm
what you was
saying
hitting
she
for,
get
man?
the full. Yeah, I'm speaking in reality. Okay, like I'm saying the woman get the full picture of the guy as far as his father characteristics when he already got a kid. But with the woman, like she not but 9 times out of 10 she's going to be the mother. She's going to be a good mother, or she's going to be there.
I see
When you
what you're
end
saying.
up, yeah, when you talking to a dude, no, you know what I mean, Drew, you ain't
No
got no
shade.
kids, yeah, no
No
disrespect to
shade
Drew.
over
When you
here.
talking to a dude without kids, you don't know until you have a baby with this nigga how he gonna be with the kids.
That doesn't mean anything. Do you know there are people who have kids, men, because that's what we're talking about here. They have men, this man has a kid with Jane, and he fucking sucks. Right, and then
Yeah,
he has a baby with Jennifer, and now he's the world's best dad. That does not, you can't take that example. You could try to guess. Don't get me wrong. Oh, he's a good dad to Junior, and now we're gonna be together and let's build our family. And that shit can switch up, and that is a lot of it. I think is because, and fight me if you want, but a lot of I've seen, let me rephrase that. I've seen a lot that a man's fathering is often based on the relationship with the mother. And I don't mean whether they're fucking or good or bad, but it's like if he don't like that bitch, them kids are an extension of that bitch. So I love my kids, but you're not doing shit to show that you like them kids. So you're not doing anything. But you can fall in love, and now you found the dream girl. Your baby mom, your first baby mom was not your dream girl. But now Sarah over here is everything you ever wanted. You can't wait for this bitch to have your kids, right? And now y'all still together and you're this amazing dad because you're giving to these kids because of what you feel for the mom. And that's not always the truth, but that's what happens a lot. That's what happens a lot. And that's why we be having to curate our relationships with the dad so that we can have the peace. Because if y'all follow our lead in those types of things, like you said, women are expected to be good moms. That's innate. That's biology, right? You're not, if a woman is a bad mom, that's when it's like a point of conversation. It's not usually the other way around. So you guys are following our lead in that because that's something that comes natural to us. And you do it in further places. This is the reason why you cannot take what you're saying as law.
all right, real quick. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. What you said is absolutely true. I 100% agree about the guys being the good father if they cool relationship with the mother. But don't get it fucked up, okay? If the mother yeah, all right, I ain't gonna go there. But if the mother is not on good terms with the father, it makes it harder. She makes it harder on him to be a good father too. Don't get that fucked
I
up.
will
That
give
shit
you
happens
that.
too.
I will give you that. I'll give you that. Anybody else? I will give you that.
So can I ask this question then? If when it comes to, like you're saying, a woman dating a man who already has kids versus a man dating a woman who already has kids, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the child really isn't the weight in that. It's the relationship with the other parent.
Mm-hmm.
The priorities are messed
It's
up.
Mm-hmm.
as a man who's dated women with children, one of the first things I question is their relationship with the father. Because as we've always heard the saying, oh, I want my family back. You don't want nothing back until you realize the situation done moved on. Now, she could be moving on to something bigger, better, greater for her and her child. And bro, your child, to be honest. But you don't want to see that just because it's not you. That has been an issue for me in dating women with children because once I show up, now all of a sudden things change. And having that family unit back as what it should be is something that still sits in the back of a lot of people's heads when you separate. So that sometimes can cause an issue, I believe. I feel like for men dating women, we always think about the baby father. Where he at? What's this situation? But the other way around, I feel like the same situation for some women dating some men. I don't want to deal with your baby mother. Like, I
Kat,
feel
let
like
me bring
sometimes
you
the
into
biggest way.
this. I'm sorry, just to go on what Drew said, Kat, let me bring you into this as a woman, because I know, like, from my experience, like he said, the man is always considering the baby father when they're getting into a relationship with a girl, right?
Mhm.
Have you seen or found or even just believe, because I believe this, I literally had this conversation yesterday, believe it or not. It seems like when the man is considering, like, you're in this relationship with this girl, but you're considering the baby father, right? And the relationship, the status with that and how that works there. Do you feel like that's the thing? Because men respect other men more than they respect the woman, even if the woman is the connection?
I think so. I think for one, I mean, be it male or female, I think whoever the other parent is to that child is going to sit on the back of the person's mind. Because at the end of the day, you got the bitter baby mama or bitter baby daddy that just wants you back because they haven't moved on themselves. Or you have a situation where the other person you're dating is going to question, okay, well, if they're too friendly or too comfortable co-parenting and spend too much time together, now that's a situation in and of itself. So I think
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, it's still in the back of your head. You're always going to think about that, that child's other parent, who be it male, female, otherwise. Like for me, I've just been lucky in that the guys that I've dated, they don't have baby mama drama, you
Mm.
know. But on the flip side, neither I don't have that whole baby daddy situation where I'm arguing back and forth and going back. So it's just calm. But you're always going to question and sit and think and wonder, okay, well, what is their relationship like? And how is that going to affect me as the new party coming into this?
Right.
No,
Right.
Kat, I definitely agree with you because I've definitely felt that. It's like, as somebody who doesn't have kids, the one thing I'm not bringing you a baby mother. That's one thing you don't have to worry about dealing with me. So in converse, I would not have to deal with a baby father.
As somebody that
I
don't got kids, you ain't gotta do a lot. Once you tell them you ain't got no kids, they getting wet as a motherfucker. I don't know. No, hold on a second. Look at Melanie's face. No, for real. Because listen, I don't know. Like, just like a female with kids or without kids, and she come across a man with no kids, just saying like, yeah, I ain't got no kids. It's just like that little shit right there just makes you, you know what I mean, like a higher fucking reward, high quality or some shit.
because I'm that nigga.
No, get the fuck out of here. Calm
I
down, like
mean,
you're doing entirely too much.
there's a standard. Like, if you have no
Hey,
kids, but you got your shit going, you got shit going for yourself,
Mhm.
that's one thing. If you have no kids and you a bum, that's not gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, like that's
Like,
when you find out, when you get to know the person, when you find out, but like when you first meet them, like, hey, my name, blah blah blah, and she just off the rip, you got kids, and you're like, no, I ain't got no kids. Yeah, she just thinks she hit the
because
fucking jackpot. She don't
if
think
he
she
a
got a
bum by
job
him,
or nothing.
if he a bum by himself, he's not gonna help me any. Like kids and
But
no
that's
kids, what good is he if
perception
he a
too.
bum? Like,
Yeah,
That's
like this thing,
perception too.
like y'all
Like,
see, my fault. Y'all see the show Pop the Balloon?
yeah,
Yeah,
mm-mm.
Oh, you
I
don't,
see
you
it
never
all
seen it?
over fucking Twitter.
Yeah. So
for real.
yeah, so like when they ask a question, like they don't know these people. They didn't get like no real information from them. They just get asked a couple questions and they go off, first impression, how they look and all that shit. But sometimes one of their deal breakers be like, if you got any kids. And then pop the
Right.
room, somebody got kids. So this nigga could be a motherfucking business owner, got a degree, you know what I mean? Got his shit together. But it or you could have the switch side. Nigga could be a whole bum. Like you said, she don't know him. They just actually meet a person. He can say he ain't got no kids. And they will keep that person balloon because
Because
just
that's
simple
the
that.
big thing. Like, let's be honest here. In this society, people who have less baggage are more desirable, right? Like, I'll
Mhm.
say, like, for me, right? And I'm just going to use me specifically because, like, I never wanted to have kids. I never fucked with people who had kids. It just was not my thing, right? Are we here? Are we here? Right? You know what I mean? So it's just like, I consider myself to be a good catch. And I'm talking about now, presently, right? And I can list out the reasons if you want, because I'm dead serious when I say this, but I'm a good
No, it's okay.
catch. You know what I mean? You want me to list it out? I'm pretty,
No,
I
it's okay.
have
It's
a good
okay.
job, I'm good with money, I
No,
can
we pass
handle
on
my
that.
business, my son is
No, we
amazing, I don't have baby father drama, I'm
that's fine.
fun, you can bring me anywhere, I can educate you, I don't take shit personal, I can go on, right? None of that changes the fact that I am a mother without a husband, right? So no matter all these good shits that I can name, I have a demerit against me. I am a single mother. And it's like, oh, well, single mothers deserve love too. True. But guess what? If you're trying to date me, you not have to work around my schedule because I am the one with the kid. You not have to work around my finances because my kid is my priority financially. You not have to work around my energy levels, my ability to be spontaneous because all of this, my kid is first. How okay are you with being second? And that's really what it boils down to when you don't have a child. So when it comes to men who don't have kids, like you said, man, like they be so excited. But then I think it really comes with like experience or age. Cause like I said, for you, I prefer for a man that I deal with to have a child because all those things that's a demerit in general based on society. Now we have this mutual understanding. When I say, oh, my child has this thing tonight, or I got to bring him to the doctor or something with his dad, I don't have to say a whole bunch because you understand because you're also a parent.
I will agree. I will agree, and I've definitely heard that. Like my sister has 2 kids, and she's divorced, and she has always said that that's one of her biggest things. Because when it comes to making decisions based upon her children, she don't want to have to explain that to nobody. She wants you to make sure you already understand. Look, if you already have kids and you're an active father in your children's life, when a mom makes a decision that's based on her children, there's no questions for you about it because you should be making similar choices and decisions in the same way. So that's one less conversation that you have to have. I can completely understand that. But you're right. Going into it, not having children, you have to immediately be comfortable with understanding you will come second in most situations and in most scenarios. If you give most women that grace and understanding, look, I'll take a back seat. There should be a moment and a time if you're dealing with a good woman where she's going to make sure that you do feel like you're first, or she makes sure you feel like you are important. And it's not the fact that her child is always going to be in this position, but understand her child will always be in this position. You're going to have to wait your turn. And there are some men coming out and being single and not having children who have never had to take that seat ever before. So it's weird. It's uncomfortable. It throws them off. They get impatient. Like you said, Kat, like you deal with men who are impatient with that. If these people have never dealt with children at all, that's understandable. But it's like, it's children. And it's hard sometimes to really understand that some people don't grasp the responsibility of children. Whether you have them or not, at the end of the day, that's a level of responsibility when it comes to children. You're talking about somebody's life that is now more important than your own.
On that note, let me ask the chat for everybody. If everyone here, first of all, would date somebody with kids, yes?
Currently.
Right. Okay. So if you were meeting somebody and you guys had went out on a date or two and they didn't immediately disclose to you until like maybe the third or fourth date that they had kids, would you cut them off?
Yeah.
Probably. Like for me, I make it a point. The first thing I'm gonna tell you is I'm a mother first. So that is automatically a part of me. Like there's other aspects of who I am as a person, but my primary focus is my child and being a mother and being a good mother. And that takes work. That's a whole responsibility. It's like if somebody asks you what's your job, that's a part of who you are as a person. You know, if you're a doctor, you're going to say, I'm a doctor. So I'm a mother, you know. It would be weird to me, and this is only because I had a scenario where a guy I was dating literally had a whole baby and lied to me about it and told me it was his nephew and was like going to bring diapers and all of these things for his nephew. Come to find out, his brother spilled the beans by asking him how his son was doing. So I'm like, if you're not telling me from jump, okay, I have kids, that's a problem for me.
Yeah, because niggas ain't shit. That's wild. That's
right.
That is insane.
That was deserved. That's crazy. I feel like it's one thing if they lie about it. I mean, I don't think it's a difference. I think if you lie about it, you're just intentionally fucking deceiving me, right? if you don't tell me, you're also deceiving me, but I'm going to associate that more with shame than deception, right? You don't feel comfortable enough. Either the kind of father that you are, maybe the woman that you had kids with, or the kids themselves, there's some type of shame there to not share this very big, important part. Like we just said, this colors every facet of your life. You know what I mean? So for me to go out with you 2, 3, 4 times, we've had phone conversations, text conversations, we've shared a meal, a drink, whatever. And the fact that you have a child never comes up. Oh, you got big shame. You cut the fuck off immediately. I don't like your character because somebody I want to deal with is never gonna do that. Never gonna do that. If I find out you a deadbeat father, you're not getting any of my time. If you find out you can't even admit to having them, same lines, man.
Yeah, I'm done. Once I realized that you if we on third date number fucking 3 and you be like, well, you never asked me. Like, you know I got kids like that. I feel like that should come, you know what I mean? Date number 1.
What about the second conversation? Let's say you met Shorty at the gas station at noon today, right? And y'all talked last night, y'all talked that night, and now the next day come and it didn't come up yet. She tells you like later that night, like you hear like, who that in the background? Oh, that's my daughter. Oh, you got kids? Would you think that that's weird? Because it's been 24 hours and she hasn't mentioned this?
I honestly, this is gonna fuck your head up.
Let me-
Here we go. Because if a nigga lie about it, I understand. Or don't say nothing. If a girl do it, I understand too. Because but I wanna know why. I'm not like I mean, if she do that, like what you just said, I'm be like, why you ain't tell me at the beginning? Like you
Why do you
don't see us
understand?
going, you don't see us going no further. Like you want to just, know what I mean, like you just interested in me and you want to just sleep with me or some shit.
Why do you understand if a man does it but not a woman when they're both parents?
Because one, like I just said, if the nigga probably just want to fuck, and niggas would do whatever the fuck they have to do just to fuck. If he feel like telling you he got a kid is gonna fuck up his chances of fucking, yeah, you might not never know you got a
It
kid until his
might
brother
not
say
have.
that's your son. I swear to
So
God, like
if she
until his
meets
brother say
him,
is that your, like where's your son? Like you might anything that a man think that's gonna lessen his chances of getting you, you might not motherfucking know. If you feel like he need to, if that's gonna hurt his chances, he might lie about it.
so what if she did the same thing? She like this nigga.
Then I
Let
understand.
me finish before you go all emotional. You know how you get calm down, rock tiger. If a woman meet this guy and he just looked like the package deal that she fucking wants. You know what I mean? He seems like a good guy. He's all well groomed and clean. He go to work. You know what I mean? He got manners. He's just whatever that she wanted. Because it maybe not be just to have sex. Men are more primal in that way in general. But she wants him. The point is, the man who wants that sexy woman wants her, and now this woman wants him. And she didn't want to disclose that right away. She just wanted to have access to him. Let me just get him out one time or something. What's the difference? She didn't tell him she had kids because he not gonna mess with me if I got kids.
It's
He got
not.
many options.
It's not no difference. If that's how she coming, I understand. But if she looking for more than just that, like you should have told me. Like
Mm.
you should have told me. But if you just want this and you feel like I don't feel like the need to tell you that because one, you're never ever gonna see my kid or you're never gonna be around him. Like I just want to just whoop de whoop and we could be
So if she
cool.
asked you, would you lie? Like you just want to whoop de boop. If she asked you, like you got kids, would you lie if you thought that saying yes would deter her from having sex with you?
Would I lie?
Yes.
It's a loaded question.
He thinking
No,
about
cause
it.
no. Look, I hate when she do this to me we talk because we talking about the old me or we talking about the old me, like the gray hair me? Or we talking about when I was a kid?
However you feel like you want to answer, the fact that you doing all this posturing is already answered enough. But
No,
please,
because right now I wouldn't lie. Right now I wouldn't lie, but I have in my life I done not lied about kids.
that's what
I
we
done
talking
lied to get
about.
some.
Lying about
No,
kids.
I
We
lied to
can
get some
lie.
pussy. No, I lied to whoop de woo. But I didn't lie. Not I ain't lie about no. I ain't never lied about my kids. But if a girl was to do it though, it's totally understandable. Like you don't
The
want this man
lifestyle.
to know. Yeah, not even mention him. Fuck lie. If she don't mention him, you don't want this man
So,
to know
so,
you got kids.
so you telling me it's based on the intent of the relationship?
Yeah, right.
Okay.
It depends what you want out the situation. Cause you really might feel like, nigga, I know this nigga ain't never gonna see my kid. I just want to see what that thing about. I heard it was
But I
good or
could
some
I
shit.
could
I
still
don't
say
know.
I have a kid and do that.
Yeah, you could.
Like
Nah, you
the
could, but if
kid
you
ain't gonna
don't though,
impact that any.
it's not like, to me it's not like, oh, why the fuck wouldn't you tell me, like, we about to be together? It's not like some shit like that. If you don't, then I understand why you didn't tell me.
I feel like you
That's what it
understand
is.
that you're less valuable or something by doing that. I feel like you have, it may not be shame, but it's definitely understanding that these kids make me less desirable, and understanding that that's really dishonest, in my personal opinion, even for somebody you just want to have sex with, because you have to omit something, which is also a form of lying, FYI, in order to hit. That's, you're a little too old for that.
Me?
Nigga, yes, you the one that said it.
I'm not doing that. I wouldn't tell nobody I ain't got no kids to hit.
No more.
When I listen, let's make this clear on this fucking podcast now, okay? When I tell y'all something, like, because y'all, like, the little people in the audience, they be saying shit like, this nigga thinks so niggerish and all this other shit. I'm telling y'all from experience, all right? I won't do that. We ain't doing that right now, okay?
Right
I just want to
now.
go to, yeah, we ain't doing that. We talking
As a
about, right?
All right, let me.
as a
I'm 40.
pathfinder.
We talking about when I was like 20 something, my
Right,
wild days.
right. Drew,
Okay.
let
So I'm
me
just
drag you
telling you
back
from
into this
experience.
real
We
quick.
not
Shut
doing
up,
that.
man. Just shut up.
Y'all be lying. Y'all be trying
All
to make it
right.
seem like I'm a hoe.
This isn't even just for Drew, but I'm gonna bring him back into this. When you do meet somebody, right, and they have a child or two, or however many is your limit, for me it's two. But when you go into what?
What?
Oh, I saw them eyes get big. All right. When do you go into it with the whole intention of building a relationship with the child, or is a child kind of like a side effect kind of getting to know the mom, and you kind of work with that? And I don't mean side effect negatively, but like, are
Yeah.
you intentionally building a relationship with the kid, or is it just you're doing enough to, like, he thinks I'm a nice guy when I see him, but it's like you're treating like an associate, not like you're trying to get to know the child personally?
To be honest, it's based on the space that the mother gives me. The relationship that I have with my girl's child is always going to be based upon what she is comfortable allowing around her child. I I love kids. I don't mind being around children. I completely understand being around children. I'm respectful when it comes to children. I support children. I protect children. But I'm not the one that's allowed to make that decision. So because I'm not, I stand in a position where if you're going to allow me to, I have no problem building a relationship with your child where it's even more of on a one-on-one basis over time, but it's all based upon the space that the mother gives me. If she feels that it's not time yet, or especially with having a son, like, and especially if that child's father is still around. I've
Mhm.
had the conversations of, I don't want to confuse my child with what the situation is between the two of us. I have no problem letting my child know that, you're a good person and you're good to mommy, so they're going to be good to you. It's like everything is based upon the space that the mother gives me. I don't push into any direction because it's not my right, but I want to respect how she chooses to raise her child, and I want to respect the relationships that she wants her child to build with certain individuals. If I've crossed a threshold that allows me to build more of a relationship with a child, I'm completely comfortable doing so. But I don't try to overstep my boundaries because I know I have no rights in that equation.
But if that wasn't like an issue, I'm not talking about what she would allow. I'm talking about your intention. Like, would your intention be, I would want to always build a relationship with the kid of the woman I'm dating, if you could? Is that what you would want? Or would you feel like that wouldn't be necessary except in specific situations?
If I'm looking to build something long term going forward, then I want to build a relationship with that child. I'll speak frankly and openly admit I have dated previous women in my past who had children, and one thing that I at one point I got to was, it was hard losing access to that child as well. When the relationship ended, I lost everything. And I got tired of building relationships and involving myself with children, and then all of a sudden that kid is gone. So I'm very apprehensive on it. I know what my intent is, but I also know what my past has shown me. So I'm a little bit more careful in the way that I interact with said child, only because I'm also protecting my own feelings in the equation, but I'm also thinking about that child's feelings. It's not just the fact that I lost them. There's a chance that that child may feel the same exact way. Now, being younger, they have more of an opportunity to grow past it and get over it. But for me, this lingers. And it always will, because I'm always going to remember that child at a certain age, and you want to be there to see them grow up. But I would love to build more of a long-standing relationship because I want the long-standing relationship.
Okay. Thank you. So for everybody else too, I've never had this experience, so I can't really answer, but I'm curious. So like, let's say everyone who's dated someone who has kids, right? Does their kids' behavior determine how hard or if you still continue to fuck with the parent? Let's say they got fucking the seed of Chucky. Are you like, you know what, nigga? You know what, girl? I'm not doing this. Oh yeah, I see you nodding. I see you nodding. You broke off
I
a relationship.
can't date. I can't date anyone with baby's kids. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Because I know how I raised my child, and I raised my child to be respectful, courteous, all these different things. And not everybody raises their children like that. And I can't put hands on anyone else's children. So,
Oh,
with that being said, I'm gonna walk away.
He wouldn't.
Like, I got to go. Like, I can't do that. Yeah, mm-mm.
No, Kat, I'll agree as somebody going into the equation without children. I'm now looking at, you gonna raise my kid this way?
Exactly.
No. We're not doing that.
Well, but wait a minute. So, well, I guess that's different. Like, it's like you're one and done, so it's not really a concern whether they're gonna raise y'all kid that way. It's just you also don't want to deal with their insufferable child.
No, because honestly, you could tell a lot about the parent also based on how the kid acts
Yeah.
and how active the parent is with that kid. Because a lot of times kids do things for attention purposes. So if daddy is doing whatever he's doing and not paying any attention to these kids and don't have the kids under control, that's gonna eventually bleed into whatever relationship you have with him anyway.
Right. I agree. Man. Because for you, and I'm asking you as someone who said in our deal breakers episode that the only way you leave with somebody is if they don't want to be there no more. Is this a deal breaker for you? Would you leave somebody if they had Satan's baby?
Satan seed.
And I done been through it, so
You said no.
yeah, no.
How do you?
That's not a deal. Wait, that's not a deal breaker for you, bro?
No, I done been through it. Like I when I was married.
That's crazy.
When I was married to the girl in Cali. When I was married to the girl in Cali, I never even met her daughter, bro. It's a long story. I never met her daughter until we was married. It's a long story.
Just go. Please don't. Just
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of years ago, but yeah. So when I met her daughter, we was married and shit. Her daughter was so mean to me, right? You think that's funny? You think that's funny, Mallory?
I think the situation is crazy. I'm laughing because I know the full scope, but please continue.
Yeah, so when I finally met her daughter, whatever, her daughter was so mean to me because she didn't fucking know me. You know what I mean? Like, I just came out of nowhere or whatever. I just literally came out of nowhere and was in her life. Her father wasn't in her life, well, like that. He lived in a whole other state or whatever the case may be, but. And I used to have, because her mother was at work, I used to have to bring her to school, pick her up from school. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and her mother was like, she ain't get used to you, blah, blah, blah. When I used to, like, get her from school and shit, I'd be like, how was school? She wouldn't say one word to me the whole way home.
How did you deal with that?
My nigga, I just was just like, I'm just was like, she didn't come around. I'm just like, she didn't come around. And she wouldn't say shit to me, like, the whole time. she just was like mean, but then she had uncles, her sister brothers and shit. They loved me, but they was mad cool. And once she like when they was around and she seen like they was cool or whatever, she started to like, you know what I mean, like talk to me and shit like that. But other than that, and I just dealt with it. The reason wasn't together, it had nothing to do with my daughter. I just dealt with it. I just felt like she didn't really like know me or whatever, and she just wanted her father. So I don't know.
I mean, that makes sense though. You was just this strange entity that came out of nowhere, and
Right.
kids, and that was irresponsible in my opinion of her mother, because why the hell would you do that? You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
there's
Mhm.
no way. Like, first of all, there should be so many conversations had. Like, she should have known that mommy is talking with somebody who's making her smile. It could be a friend. You should have seen that little girl in a public place, at least once or twice or something. You just came as a no name, no face, but living entity, and you're getting my mom's attention and her affection, and I'm supposed to be respectful of you, and you're in my space. Like, it was a 180-degree turnaround overnight, because who the fuck are you?
And she was only like 8 at the time.
That's the thing. So, and I wonder,
Nah,
because
look at his face.
That's the mean age, bro. Kids is mean at 8, bro.
they're
I'm not
honest.
surprised.
They're
My son will
honest.
ask me in a heartbeat, "Mommy, do you trust him?"
Oh, respect.
He will give you side eye if he don't trust you. If he don't like you, you're gonna know. Like that, he's at that age where he knows you're not his daddy. So
Yeah.
anyone
Crazy
who's not
part
his
is,
daddy, he gonna question until
Mhm.
he builds that rapport. But to what Melanie said, like, why would she even bring some strange man that this little girl's never
no,
met?
because the crazy part is we were strangers to each other.
Yeah.
If you knew the whole story, like we ain't really fucking really know each other.
Lord.
What episode on that shit? Because I'm curious as hell
We need
now.
to
You actually
unpack
did
this.
do one. You just never released it, and you know what? We gonna listen. We can talk about that after we get done.
No, I'm just saying though, but yeah, his
So
There's
now
daughter
that,
so
was
many
that
mean.
begs the
questions.
question. That
Yeah, his
begs the
daughter was
question: would
mean.
you date somebody that your kid didn't like? Like, let's say the person was totally nice to
Mhm.
your child, but your son or daughter does not like him or her. Like, is that a deal breaker completely? You saying yes? Like, there's just no gray area. There's just my kid don't
No,
like, I can do it.
my kid don't like you. Sorry, I can't move forward because at the end of the day, my son's going to also have to accept you. If
I don't know
he
if I
feels
agree with
like
you.
something's off, um, kids usually have an intuition and they can kind of tell the type of person they're dealing with long before adults do. Like my mother used to have a saying that said, babies and fools are the closest to God. So for me, like if my son feels some sort of way or feels like he's not really rocking with you, and my son likes everybody, so it's hard for him to not like somebody. But if he's not rocking with you, I can't.
I don't
Yeah,
know. I don't know
I
Why?
about
don't.
that.
No,
I
why do
don't
you
agree.
disagree?
I
I don't
bet
agree either. I disagree.
yeah, like because this is the thing, right?
Break down.
First of all, babies and fools is not an 8-year-old. That's number one. Now your child, like my son, we are best friends. You understand? I am his world. He got a father, but I'm the son in his world. Okay, we here. That's my boy, and he is a very nice kid. Blah blah blah. You're very close with your mom. We spend a lot of time together. Like when we get done with this, we're going to watch a movie, even though he's way past his bedtime, right? But this is what we do. If I was to bring someone and without cause or reason, your initial reaction is to dislike them, I'm not going to think that that's out of the ordinary, right? I'm not going to think that because you got somebody just like with his wife's daughter. Somebody is here now taking a space from this person who's all that was my attention. You are infringing on something that was just for me. You're giving my mother kisses. We get territorial over stuff that we love, and kids don't have any discernment to be able to bring that in. So if you dislike somebody and it's not because, oh, what up, little nigga, or saying so, you know what I mean? Like if it's without cause, I can't let you
So
get
so
that
you're
in.
saying initially they dislike the
I'm being
like
necessarily initially, because at the end of the day, like I was talking to my son the other day, he saw this stuff on YouTube and it was like, oh, if it was in a burning building, if it was your wife or your mother, like who would you save? And he came over to me, he was like, I would save you, mommy. And I'm like, thank you, baby. And I believe you said that. I believe you when you say that. However, when you get older and you take a wife, you're a man. That's going to be your responsibility to take care of the wife and the family that you create. Your mom should have her own husband so that I can have that person to save me. Your life is not meant to center me. Mine is meant to center you. This is the same thing. I cannot allow my child to dictate my romantic relationships when it's unjustified. You don't have to like this person, especially if you're not liking this person simply because they have my attention. Now, if they are harmful or negligent or abusive, that's a whole nother story. But in general, this is not an area that you get to dictate. I'm always going to take things into consideration, but mommy's husband is mommy's business. Just like when you get older, your wife is your priority. It's the same thing. That's my view on it.
Yeah. Well, me, I disagree from not from my kids' perspective. I never had that happen with my kids, but me as a kid, it was the total opposite. Like my father wasn't there, and any nigga my mother was dealing with, I liked them because I wanted a father figure. I
Mm.
wanted a father figure to replace what I was missing. You know what I mean? And these niggas wasn't fucking good for my mother. These is niggas in the street selling drugs, doing dumb shit. But I didn't care about that. I just was like all of like anybody that she dealt with, like I was happy that it was a guy or whatever type shit. So I feel like if I had a father figure and my mother wasn't dealing with him, I would feel like this man that's trying to come in is trying to replace my father. So I might give off I don't like him, and I don't even really know him, but I'm to me it's the opposite. You know what I mean? Like I feel like he's trying to replace my father, but my father's in my life, so I might give off the opposite. Like nah, I don't like him. Like blah blah blah, thinking to myself like but just to be an asshole, it might not be nothing wrong with this dude type shit, but in my mind I'd be like nigga you ain't replacing my father type shit, but my father wasn't there, so I was on some come on in. Niggas used to lock me in the fucking room in the dark.
Say that.
No, for
Um,
real. The niggas my mother used to date used to lock me in the room in the dark when I was little.
See, that's the reason to dislike and to break up with somebody. Because what the fuck is you? I will kill you if you fuck with my kid.
Man, they
you
You
a
used to think,
grown
yo,
ass.
they used to think it was so funny though. My mother too, they'd be laughing and shit. Like,
our parents they went through the 80s. You know what that
yeah,
means.
that's a whole nother
Yeah,
time.
that's a different
It's a whole
time.
nother
It's a different
time.
time. I
Family is
like
another time.
but man, I understand that. I understand your position to a degree because I was raised by a single mom. Only difference was my mom stopped dating for like almost 15 years, specifically just to raise us.
Mm.
And I do remember the one person that, like, my little sister's father, I hated that nigga. Like, it did not matter. I hated that nigga. But for me, it was more of, I already don't get my mom enough. I'm sharing her with two sisters, and now you about to come in and take more time away than I barely get.
Nigga,
So
what?
bro, I didn't get time with my mom, and that's what I wanted. I didn't
Because your
care about having
sisters?
a dad there. I had two sisters.
Okay.
So it's like, I didn't give a damn about having a dad there. The last one that was there, my little sister's father, wasn't shit. He can go. I'm fine. I was cool with having just my mom. So when she did start dating again, my first response was, I'm losing time for my mom. So it wasn't that I disliked these niggas. I was mad at the fact that I was losing time with her. It took me a little while to actually grasp the fact that she's doing something that makes her happy, something that her children can't do for her. So it took me a little bit of time to finally stretch that out. But at first, I was kind of like, yo, but what about me? And that's kind of the type of time I was on for a little while. But I know for a huge factor, the way we felt about the men she dealt with was a big determinant factor for her. But she also was very patient with the way that she introduced us to them. It was a known fact that if anybody, my little sister was the meanest person you come across. But I didn't. We never took it as I just don't like this nigga for no reason at all. There was always a reasoning in it, and oftentimes it had nothing to do with my mother. It was me. It was the way I felt about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this isn't just to you, Drew, but it's like with that being said, like if we have certain limits or limits that we're not going to practice because of what our kids thinks, what about when it comes to dealing with the other parent for your kid, right? Like my son
Mhm.
has a dad. When it came time for me to date, as much as he tried to hide it, he did not take it very well. He didn't take it very well. You know, when I got into a serious relationship with somebody, you know, I didn't tell him about it. But we did have a conversation before he met my child. You know what I mean? It was kind of like, oh, I seen, you know, I fucked up one day and I forgot to like cancel the screen share. So he's seen me in my text messages with the boy, with the boyfriend, and then he's seen a gift under the Christmas tree for my son from the boyfriend. He's like, so he messaging me about the boyfriend, like, oh, it seems like it's getting serious. Has he met our child? Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, no. Because, like, for me, my natural inclination was, I want the respect of you letting me know before you introduce our kid to some random woman. I would give you that respect. So we never had the conversation, but that's why I moved. And then that night we had the conversation. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, what is your expectation? You know, and he didn't want to meet the guy or anything like that. Honestly, I feel like you was just butthurt because you didn't really come up with any parameters. You just want to say some shit, right? But when it comes to the other parent and you're getting into a serious relationship, do you talk to the parent about that before you introduce the kid? And Drew, you can do this for, you know, your girls who had to have that conversation too. But like, do you consult them? Do you like take their opinion into consideration? Like, how do y'all work that out? Especially like you, man, you don't got the most happy go lucky situations. You know what I mean? Like, how does that work?
I've always told any woman that I've dealt with, especially if, you know, the child's father was still around, bro, I'm not here to take your job. But if you don't show up for work, somebody will clock in.
I'd have
That's
punched
all
you
I'm
in
going
the
to say.
face if you said some shit like that to me. Cause stay in your place, nigga. That's if I was a man and I heard somebody say that to me. If I will show up to work, if you don't clock in, I will right in your fucking
Show
teeth.
the fuck up to work then, nigga.
Hey,
That's my only position. Show
you
the fuck up to
crazy.
work then. I am not here to take your position. You still have every right to be a father to your child, and I am not here to get in the way. But that doesn't mean that child should have to lack for having a parent just because you don't want to come to work. So I'm not here to take your job, but clock the fuck in.
Anybody else? Cause Drew just got decked. So
I've I've died before.
um, I think for me, it's pertinent that if I'm starting anything serious, my son's father knows, and that's only because this is going to be a person my son is regularly interacting with. There could be a possibility if there's an emergency and I'm with the person that my son might be left with this person. So it for me it's a requirement. Like, and I just ask that his father have the same respect. Like, okay, you know, I know you're gonna see other people, I know you're gonna date other people. Before we even fully ended our relationship, I sat down and had a talk with my son and said, this is what it is, this is what's gonna happen, this is the possibility. So my son is at the age where he understands, okay, this is what's going on and this is how it's going to be going forward. And he'll ask me, you know, because I have to explain to my son, like, mommy can have male friends without them being her boyfriend. Like, so
yeah.
I explained, this is not a boyfriend, this is just a friend. There's no relationship or anything, but his father is well aware if it's going to get serious with whoever I'm talking to or dating, his father's going to be the first person to know.
So if he not cool with that, how do you navigate that though? He'd be like, nah, I don't like that nigga. I don't want my kid around. Like, what do you do in that situation? Because you want to consult him, but
I mean, the most I can do is consult you. At the end of the day, it's my life. So I'm going to continue to live. I'm not stopping my life because at the end of the day, if he finds some bitch he want to run off with, he going to do it.
yeah.
So I'm not going to stop what I'm going to do for me or
Let's say if
whoever
he
I
know
want to
about
be
it.
with because he don't like it. He's just going to have to deal with it and he either going to have to respect it and move on with his life or it is what it is.
What if
Like,
he know about him?
what if he knows about him?
Like, what if he like know, like, say like he like a street nigga or some shit? Like your baby father know about him like in the streets or know what type of person he is and be like, yo, nah, I don't want that nigga around my kids.
Well, see, that's a little different. And for me, it wouldn't really apply because generally I'm not really into the street dudes. So, and my baby father knows that. He's aware of that. Like he knows what
So
would
if
typically
that was
be
to
my.
all right, so basically like with that question, like if if the situation, if he had a valid reason why he wouldn't want, you would be okay with it. If he had a valid reason
Yeah.
why he didn't
If it
want
was a valid reason, like he said, oh, well, this person is, God forbid, on the sex offender registry or something to that
you.
effect. Like, I mean, that's the extreme. Like, but I'm saying it's something to that effect. Like, if there's a valid reasoning, I'm going to take that into consideration because at the end of the day, that's the safety of my child. But if it's just because he don't want me to move on with my life, that's a personal problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard.
Yeah. I feel like everybody, with kids, the parent, if the situation about to get real, I feel like the parents should meet. If it's getting serious where the kids is going to be around the person that you with, I feel like the parents should meet them, and that's that. Unless it's like I just said with her, if the person know, overly small and all some shit, the person knows the other person, they know what type of girl or guy this person is, and even though it's your baby father or your baby mother, you got to take some consideration on what they saying. Like, yo, nah, I don't want this person around my kid. That don't mean you gotta stop fucking with them. Just don't have them around the kid. Like, you know what I mean? Like, cause like if I hear about this motherfucker all the time in the street and some street shit happen, while you with him or with the kids, I'm gonna be tight. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Even
mm.
though it don't have nothing to do with child situation, it's just like my kids. You know what I'm saying? Like, keep that shit away from the kids. I'm not telling you to stop fucking with the person. And a female could say the same thing. Like, all that girl do is steal or scam or she, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want her around the kids. She's a bad influence. Blah blah blah. No, I understand.
So when
Whatever.
you're in your co-parenting situation and shit is just bad, negative, y'all not on good terms, y'all can't barely talk, and you start dating somebody new, in that time, do you consult the mother still, or is it nah, fuck you because we not talking? No. Oh, so it's only respectful if we on good terms. That's crazy.
And no, what I'm saying is that's how it should be. But in real life, no niggas be like, man, I don't give a fuck what you gotta say. This is my life. Fuck
But y'all
you.
like arguing and
That's how
upset
we do.
right now. Like your kids gotta take years to grow up, right? And I feel like I try to look forward for everything that I do. Like when it comes to me and my son's dad, everything that I do is the fact that I'm not allowing you to cause me stress because our kid is only 9. That's many years before we don't have to be a part of each other's daily lives if we choose not to, right? So if I'm pissed off at you, but I want him to meet my new boyfriend Fred, you know what I mean? It's like, well, fuck him. I'm not going to ask him nothing because fuck him. Or no, I can't do that because it's fuck him today. But then in 2 weeks, things might have settled down. We might be cool. And now to introduce him to Fred, now we got another argument waiting for us because I moved on my emotions.
I wish the whole world was like you because
Me too. I'm fantastic.
Don't say that out
you know
loud.
how many
Don't say
motherfucking
that out loud.
you know how many. Let's be real. You know how many motherfucking people move off emotions, males
Yeah,
and females.
yeah,
Most of them.
Like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, everybody ain't gonna stop and say what she just said. Like, I'm not gonna move off my emotions. They mad at you, nigga. Fuck you. Especially if you did some fucked up to them, some fucked up shit to them, and you with the person you did the fucked up shit to. Like, nigga, I ain't gotta tell you shit. Fuck you.
yeah.
Go
That's
live your life. I'm gonna live mine. You know what I mean? Like, but in reality, they should be, put their fucking emotions to the side, but they ain't fucking doing that shit.
yeah, yeah.
Most of
Um,
them.
how important is it for like y'all kids? Because everybody apparently, is either dating someone who is not in a two parent home and or raising a kid who's not in a two parent home. How important is a two parent home to you for your child or for you, Drew and Theory?
Essential.
Is essential
Yeah. I've always wanted to give my child what I didn't have, and the first thing is a two-parent.
at any cost. So like how some people stay together for the kids. So if shit ain't working out, you still gonna stay because that's more important for them to have than your happiness. Like, what's your extent with that?
I'm I don't see myself going that far with somebody I can't see myself staying with.
Okay,
Yes, I
Drew,
understand. You did not, let me finish. Let me finish. Like
because
you already called me out talking about it's by stroke of luck. Does not matter. I have the capacity to make it work for me. I have to. I have the ability to. That does not mean that you can't successfully still raise a child without him being in the same home. My goal is to be in the same home. But if circumstances change and things don't go the same exact way, that still personally, I don't feel that should affect my ability to be an active and effective parent. So yes, would I want to give my child a 2-parent home? Absolutely. But if the future holds something different, it's not going to change the way that I want to be a parent to my child. I
Okay.
still want my child to see 2 supportive parents, whether we getting along or not.
Kind of to piggyback off of what he said. So for instance, I was raised in a two-parent home. Both my parents all my life. My son, I wanted the same thing for him. But it came to a point where it's, do you choose yourself or do you choose the relationship if you feel like it's not beneficial to you? So what my son needs more than anything is happy parents.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day, if he has 2 miserable parents who are staying together for his sake, how does that benefit him?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, ideally, I would love him to have a 2-parent home. But the reality of it is, I'm not going to keep him in an environment that is not suited for him
Mm-hmm.
and that is not healthy for him. So that required me to choose myself.
Mm.
I hear that.
Man.
No, I agree with Kat. Like, ideally, I wanted that. I tried my hardest to have that for them, and she had it. I didn't have it, so, and like he said, I didn't have it, so I wanted it for my kids. You know what I mean? But the more you grow and get older, you realize, nigga, you have to choose you. Fuck them kids. It's like,
Jesus Christ.
no, for
Damn.
real, nigga. Because like you said, like
Damn.
even if no, for real, because even if it ain't both, it could just be one. If one ain't happy, you know what I mean? The whole the dynamic ain't gonna be happy. And both of y'all don't even
Mhm.
have to be happy. It can just be one parent.
All right, so let me ask you. So, being that it didn't work out with the initial parent, are you dating as and not just for him but for everybody, like, are you dating to marry? Like me, I'm dating to marry, right? So if we're gonna be doing something, we're building towards this for everything. And it's not even just because it's important for my kid to have a 2-parent home. Like, me and his dad have a very good relationship. He is not necessarily lacking from the parental love and camaraderie, but there is a difference. He's seen us as a unit living together all of his life until very recently. So my thing is, when I first got out of my relationship, I'm just dating because, once I getting back into the groove. Now I'm in a place where I'm willing to invest in something, and I'm only willing to invest in something. I don't want to frivolously date. You know what I mean? And the benefit of that would be my child gets to be in a 2-parent home again. So for everybody who wants that and believes that, are you dating to marry?
At this stage in my life, I'm not dating to marry. And it's only because there's been certain personal situations that, for me, I don't want to bring another party into until I've resolved it.
But you're still dating. You're just
I'm still dating, but I'm not I'm not necessarily at a stage where I feel comfortable bringing someone into my mess. And so until I get that mess together, that's when I'll start dating to marry, because then I feel like, okay, I'm at a point where, you know, I'm still going to have a mess because that's just life, but it's not to the extreme of what I'm dealing with at this current moment. So it's right now I'm just dating, but it's not to marry or seriously at this stage.
so. All right, so we're gonna get ready to close this down a little bit, but I want to ask one question before we go. What about your free time that you have? Like, even though you're dating with kids, dating someone with kids, what about the free time that you have and that you don't want to expend on the people that you're dating or with the kids? Like, do you find that that's non-existent because you're pulled in so many directions? Do you find ways to make time for you? Like, what happens there?
As
I
somebody
mean,
who, go ahead, Kat.
I find ways to make time for like what I want to do or for me in general, because if I don't, I will get overwhelmed with life and everything that's going on in it. Like, being a mom is a job, working a job, doing other things outside of that, business ventures, whatever the case may be. I have to find time for me and to do things that I want to do, be that dating, be that just spending time with myself, because it'll all become too much very quickly.
For
Yeah,
me,
true.
I'd since since I'm the one that's coming into the equation with most of the free time, I I appreciate that. Like my girl will make time. Like we have the weekends are ours. Monday through Friday, she's 100% mom no matter what. That's what she does. On weekends, when we have the opportunity to, her mom will want to take her granddaughter because now they can. She don't got school. She ain't got nothing else to do. So that's my time with her. So that's our date night, our quality time together. She always finds a way to make that type of time. And to be honest, I would rather that. I would rather her be a full time mom 100%, and then we'll find time. So I've always been accepting of the fact that as long as time is made, I'm fine with that.
So what if she has a point in time though where like it's been 3 weeks, right? For whatever the circumstances are, there ain't been no room for you because when she got everything settled, I don't know, she also just needed space for herself. Like, how do you handle that? As maturely as you sound, or do you definitely have your? Because I like, I know you like to be with your woman, right? And
Yeah.
if it's been an extended period of time and you can't do that, how do you handle that?
I completely understand the fact that she's a mom first, so I'll already take a back seat. But then, even me personally, I absolutely respect personal time. So even if she needs time to herself, that doesn't bother me. She's already shown me enough that when we are capable of it, I'll have my time, I'll have my moment. So I honestly, to me, I don't argue for it. I don't argue about it.
So it doesn't bother you that you can never ever be first in her life and that you can never feel like you are being put first.
It's not that I never ever will be put first. It's that I already understood coming into this equation somebody was number one.
So you'll never
But
be first, and you're
I'll get my
cool.
time. I'll get my time, and I'm good with that.
Mm. Yes, we looking at you. Fuck.
Yo, the way he be waking up into the moment, dog.
Like, damn. The hell?
I don't really got nothing to add besides what they say. I make time. Like I feel like I make time, and I gotta date somebody that's gonna make time for me. Like even if you ain't got no time, you better find a way to make some motherfucking time. You better go to Walmart and buy some motherfucking time. Go to self checkout and steal that shit or something because. But
What about when
when
you
I
want
gotta,
your time though? Like away from her, away from them kids. Like, do you find that you want that often, or you're good not having that?
wait, say that again.
Are you like time for yourself without Bay or the children, whatever?
Mhm.
Do you be wanting that, or do you feel like that's not necessary? You want your time with yourself to be with her.
Nah, I be wanting that. I be wanting that.
All right.
I feel like those are the moments. I feel like
Because
that's
yo,
I
oh
feel like
my
that's when you
god,
gotta. That's like when you steal
oh,
time.
it's funny as hell.
That's
Like you gotta steal time in moments like that. Like when I'm in the car. Like that's me time.
no, I 100% disagree with that because at the end of the day, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I'm inherently selfish in the sense that I'm always going to prioritize myself. So it's like
Glad you can
if
admit that.
I need time for me, that's what's happening. I didn't see you this week. You know what I mean? And I want to see you, but I also want to spend time with me. And my child is with his dad this weekend or something. And I would love to spend the week with you. But this Saturday, I don't feel like doing that because as much as I enjoy spending time with you, it still requires an energy. You know what I mean? Yeah, we're going to have lazy moments where we're huddled up, whatever the case is. But there is nothing like being by myself when I want to be by myself. Even if you and I are not doing nothing when we're together, us being together, it's taking a certain amount of energy. And like I'm the kind of woman like I my love is like acts of service. So you're gonna be here and I'm gonna naturally feel the need to want to like feed you or make sure you're good or whatever the freak it is, and that's taken away from that. So like when I want my time for me, I'm gonna take it. And we're gonna it's not all the time because I'm a cuddly ass girl, I'm very pink. But when I want my time, it's a non-negotiable.
I'm gonna be honest with you, right?
Oh
Since
God.
you said that, since you said that. The reason I laughed when you said that because once I get to the point where I want my time to myself. I really don't like you no more. So I ain't gonna
Damn.
lie, like I don't like you. I ain't gonna say I don't like you all the way, but I don't like you like I first did because I ain't. Every chance I got, I wanted to spend time with you. And even if I ain't got my kids and I don't want to spend time with you, or I just want to be by myself, it's starting to die down. Like my liking you fucking cup is starting to pour out. So when I get that energy from somebody like you, like if you got a Melanie, if like you got a kid, and I usually see you when you don't got your kid, and then when you don't got your kid, you like, oh, I just want to spend my time myself. My first thought is, this motherfucker, she must not starting to like me no more like that. Like you don't even want to see me when you free no more. Like it's
That
like,
is so unhealthy.
yeah, that's what I would think because that's what I would do.
But he
That's what I
not
would think
wrong.
because that's what I would do.
You're
Do you
not wrong.
Huh?
hobbies? Like you don't have things that you want to work on. Like I be in here, I done taught myself
Yeah,
to
but
sew.
where was those fucking hobbies and shit at the beginning when you wanted me every fucking chance you
I'm a
got when you had
mother.
free
I
time?
don't have time to constantly be diving into shit that I want to dive to. Me, I like to write. I've taught myself to make skirts. I like to do arts and crafts. If I'm spending all my free time away from my kid with you, I'm not doing these things. That doesn't mean I don't want to do them, but I have to prioritize that. It's a discipline thing. It's a necessary thing. It's not that I don't like you. It's just like I also like this other shit. Before you came into my life, it was full of things about me, right? And about my kid. So, and before you came there, I had space where when my kid wasn't there, I existed. I can't stop existing because you're now a part of my life. That doesn't make sense. It's one day, and that means I don't like you no more. That's unhealthy.
Now
That is attachment issues.
it's not not you
It
don't
is.
like me no more, but it's starting to down now. And I say that because it's like what y'all say with us. Whatever you show me at the beginning, show me consistently. So if that's what you've been doing before you got here, you should still be doing that shit at the beginning.
So I can't
Don't
get any
out of
hobby.
nowhere fucking 3 months later, all of a sudden, you wanna write. You don't wanna see me. Like, why you should have been doing this. You should have been had your little time to yourself since we've been talking.
She can't grow. She got to be
No,
stagnant because
wait,
she
wait, wait,
didn't do
wait. No,
this before.
it's not that. And I understand. And I understand what he's saying. I got a friend of mine. His dad used to tell me this when he met their mom, and they've been married for like 45 years. When he first met his wife, he said, "I used to tell her every Thursday I'm with the boys." That didn't mean every Thursday he was with the boys. He always, no matter what, from day one, he always carved out a time for him to do his own thing. It had nothing to do with him. He said he wanted her to get used to the fact that there may be some times I want to do my own thing or I want to do something else, and it may take me away from you. So he gave her that level of consistency from day one. It didn't mean that he was lying. It didn't mean that he was doing something else. It was that he didn't let her get comfortable with the fact that he was there every single moment, every single time. There was going to be a time in which he would want to do his own thing, which created for her a remembrance for her to always keep her own thing.
Cat,
It's
this don't sound
establishing
condemned to you.
it. So I get what they're saying, though. It's establishing a precedent. Like
Mhm.
so what he said, the, this gentleman established a precedent when it came to his wife and what their relationship was going to look like. If you're going to be in a relationship with anybody, you should have your own separate lives, be doing your own things, and then come together.
Mhm.
Um, but I get what you're saying because, like, I can relate in that there's just times where, okay, if I want to focus on me, I don't necessarily want to be bothered with anyone else. But so I do understand that. But for me, it's more of um, I just, I'll make time for you on these, like, I specify, okay, these are the days I have time for you.
Mm.
But these are the
Mhm.
days that I have time to do everything else I need to do. So
Exactly.
either we can make it work within that schedule or we're not going to see each other.
Mm.
That's the key
Mm.
right there. That's the key right there. It's all about communication. Once we start talking to each other and we letting each other know what we like, what we do, you know what I mean? Let that be known. Like sometimes, not sometimes, but it's going to be times where I might not have my child and I want time to myself. But if you don't let that be known, and for 3 months, every time you had your child, you've been seeing me, and then out of nowhere, "Oh, I don't want to be bothered today." I'm like, cause like I'm saying, that's how I feel. Once I got the free time, and I'm like, nah, I'm gonna just chill. honestly, deep down inside, is because I'm losing interest.
See, I don't
It
think
don't.
a
I don't.
deviation from the
I'm dead ass.
principle.
I'm being honest.
No,
Like if
I
I
mean
got
I
the
hear
freedom,
you. But like
huh?
here's the thing, right? When you first meet somebody, it's like this honeymoon phase. You know, like that's where you have the most
Hmm.
sex, you have the most excitement. You're gonna know this person. It's amazing, right? You cannot constantly go at that level, especially where older people with children, you gotta pull back. And it's like, damn, I've been so wrapped up in this love that I'm growing with this person. I've been neglecting certain shit with me. So I didn't tell you this in the beginning because I didn't realize this whirlwind that I was getting into. But then 3 months when I need a minute to breathe and it's like, okay, let me adjust some shit because this is, it's great, but I can't maintain this and want to do the other things that I want to do. That doesn't mean that I'm losing interest in you. It just means we're stabilizing at this point. You know what I mean? We up here, woof, and now we're gonna be a consistent instead of high energy 24/7. That does not mean that I've deviated from my feelings for you, my desire to be around you. But today, I want to lay on the couch in my sweatpants, eating my chips with my salsa dip, watching that show that I'm not even going to let you know that I watched. It might be a little embarrassing. I might want to fall asleep. Maybe I didn't wash or brush my hair, whatever. I want my titties to hang out because I don't want to put on a bra, and I don't want you there to touch me. And it's nothing personal. It's about me today.
As
And
Monica said, it's just one of those days. But
and it may happen sometimes. It's not gonna be one time, but it's like I just think it's very healthy to have that time. We always gonna have each other. If our bond at that point is not strong enough to make it through, what are we really
Right.
doing?
When y'all have one of them days, like Monica said,
You're an asshole.
when y'all having one of them days, like Monica said, are y'all letting it be known the day of?
Maybe you like listen to me, right? My child went with his dad, and now it's Sunday. And I've seen you on not you. I've seen my guys on Sundays. That's uncomfortable, but you know what I mean. Now you call, yo, what you doing? No, I'm just watching Say Yes to the Dress. Oh, you want to come out? I don't want to come outside. Why? What's the matter? Nothing. I'm just chilling. That's the problem now. I didn't give you advance notice, but I answered you when you
No,
asked.
no, that's not a problem. But
Oh,
like, if you get rid of your son every other weekend, right? And I've been seeing you every time you get rid of your son every week, every other weekend. So the weekend that's coming up for you to get rid of your son, I call you. Yo, what you doing? I'm probably thinking about you think we should do this weekend, blah 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 blah. And you're like, this weekend I don't really want to be bothered, blah blah blah. That's a fucking problem.
What?
I think
see,
it's a
that sounds
matter of
no, that sounds selfish, man. That sounds selfish.
No, I'm gonna tell you why. No,
Crazy.
I'm gonna tell you why it's a problem. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it's a problem
Tell us why.
because you waited until that the moment, the day of, or that weekend of, when we've been doing this consistently every time you didn't have your son. You should have told me the weekend that you had him or the days before that, this weekend when I ain't got my son, I'm probably gonna have some me time. Instead of let me know because you woke up and it's one of them days. You woke up that day, you just say want to be bothered.
Nigga, are you giving her W-2 for dating you? She got to put in PTO in order to have time to
Man, fuck
herself?
all that. The
That's
fuck?
crazy.
She better
You
put she
know,
better put it in the motherfucking
I
PTO.
don't be more happier than when we record these episodes to know that you're my cousin because I could never run into you into the wild and think that we're going to date. Thank you, God, for making us family. Jesus Christ. All right.
First of all,
Because Mammon always saying some crazy ass shit.
no, I'm
Bring
just saying
on.
because I'm only reason why I'm saying this because I'm going off of what I do. So
I
if
feel
you do
you.
that to me, I'm gonna feel like you lose interest because if I've been hitting you up every time I ain't got my kids, and then at one time you don't hear from me and you hit me like like what you doing? You ain't got your kids, right? I'm like, nah. Why you ain't call me? Oh, I just wanted to do some meet. I wanted to meet some. So nigga, why you didn't tell me that? And that's what she's thinking. Like, why you didn't tell me that? Huh?
I'm telling you now.
Yeah, you telling me now, but only reason why I didn't tell you that because I really didn't give a fuck, and I'm starting to think about, you know what I mean? Like
But Mick,
you
but Mick,
starting to
you
use no, hold on, you starting to use up all my time, so I wanted some me time, and I didn't really consider calling you or letting you know because this is about me, and it's one of them days, right? So when a girl do that to me, I'm like, oh, you wanna chill by yourself, huh? What the
yeah.
fuck? No, for real, like I'm telling you.
Would you? But man, you notice, and you
That
said it
ass.
earlier, but you said it earlier, some people move in their emotion. And let's be honest, when it comes to women, they may not know what they want to do until they're in that moment. Let's say you don't know what you want to do with your day until you drop your son off, until his father come to pick him up. And now it's what I'm gonna do with this day.
We
And
didn't
it
have
might
no
be one of those
plans.
days. And
It's
it
we
might
didn't
be
have
one of
no
those days.
plans. We didn't have no plans. We didn't have
Exactly.
no plans. Why do I need to check in with you 4 days beforehand to make sure on Saturday we might not do this? Get the fuck out of here.
You
I'm not
can't
your
say
child.
no. You can't say we didn't have no plans, nigga. I waited the whole fucking weekend for your free weekend for me to see you because that's our time. That's our time.
Now, for
But
me, I'm gonna tell you right
now
now.
you making that time that you don't have your kid your time by yourself. But you knew that was our time, and you want to wait till last minute to say you want to spend this time that you don't have your son to with yourself. You should have been told me
Okay,
that.
so
That's all.
so no, man, you're not wrong. Because for me personally, I'll tell you right now, like I got maybe like the next 3 weekends planned for me and my girl, since that is the time that we spend together. Like the next 3 weekends. If she were to hit me in 2 weeks and talk about, nah, I just want to sit in the house, now I would be mad because she knows we plan these weekends in advance.
2 weeks
I,
later, she's fucking tired. She realized 2 weeks with you was great, but now she needs some time. Are you niggas retarded? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
Now you meant to say it.
you did with your whole chest too.
Y'all are ridiculous. And I
But
But
you're
you
think
know
a
what's
saying that
lot
we
crazy?
had
of
no
the time,
plans. I'm
don't
telling
cut
you
me
right
off.
now, I had plans.
A
I'm
lot
telling
of
you, I
the
had
time
plans.
that y'all
Yo, listen.
say shit, it sounds like you're coming from a place of ownership. A bitch is not allowed to change her mind and want to have a day to herself because y'all made plans 3 weeks ago. Nigga, if I do something three days ago, it's subject to change. And why are you not that
Right.
fucking adaptable? Why are you my fucking warden, my slave master? Can I
Nobody's
get the
saying that
whip?
it is
Can
not
I go in
adaptable.
the fucking tree?
Nobody,
Listen, this
nobody's
is
saying that we're
insane.
not adaptable. We just saying that we might feel a type of way if the plans do change. If there are plans and they change, I might feel a way about it. But if I have no plans, then you have every right to do whatever you choose to.
I hope y'all the
This
most consistent niggas in the whole world. When you make schedules and you make appointments, I hope you're never late. You never have to reschedule. Nothing ever comes up, which is crazy to say because we're talking about dating with kids and we know good well niggas be having to reschedule because of something that happened with the kid. I'm gonna leave it at that because ridiculous and ridiculous, sir. It's like a light skin from like Michael Jackson and a dark skin one too. I ain't got time for y'all and y'all
no, because y'all
stupid.
don't
Kiss
like
my
that shit
ass,
either.
nigga.
So you ain't leaving it like that.
Thank you.
We are because this episode is running
Y'all don't
entirely
like
too
that shit
long.
either. When y'all got shit planned and a nigga just a nigga can't even have one of them days. Let's be fucking real. We can't be
Thank
like it's
you,
one of them
nigga. Oh
days.
my God.
Like we can't even do that.
Calm down.
Okay.
I'm both of y'all. All right. Well, we're gonna close out this episode. Maybe we can do a part two. I don't think we need to, but ridiculous.
We
Cat,
done talking about it.
ridiculous. Like blink one for yes and two for no. They're ridiculous, right? So that's our episode for the day. um, thank you, Drew, for joining us.
Gang, gang. Love being
Mhm.
here.
Thank you, Kat, for joining us. Hopefully, we didn't scare you away because we'd love to have you back.
No, I'd love to come back. It was fun. I had a good time.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Well, we're going to do our toast. Hopefully, everybody got something in their cup. And we're coming
Niggas
to
ain't gonna
y'all
thank
from
me
group
ever.
chat to the podcast.
I
I didn't know what he said.
said niggas ain't gonna thank me for coming.
No, we're not.
That's crazy.
We expect you to clock in just like you expect her to clock in. But anyway,
What
um,
Drew say? If you don't clock in, what you say? If you don't clock
Somebody
in,
gonna show the fuck up.
somebody gonna show up.
Drew got decked for that, so you should remember that. Anyway,
Nigga, I
thank you
beat
for
you.
watching. Thank you for watching. Please like, follow, share, and subscribe. We are on Instagram at Related Conversations Podcast. We're on TikTok and YouTube at Related Conversations, and we're on Twitter at Related Convos. We release episodes most Fridays, and please subscribe so you never miss a drop. Thank you for watching.